Alright, this time we're doing two retouches in one. We're going to do a little jowl area reduction, just basically reduce this whole area in here to make the subject look a little thinner. And there are a number of ways we could do that. We could go through here and use dodging and burning. You could lighten up this shadow in here using the rubber stamp tool set to lighten, just to kind of remove that shadow that's created there. But I think we have a better way. It's a quicker way, an easier way. But then we've got an image where we need to do a fix. This eye's barely open, this eye's fully open, and I had a lot of people on my blog asking me to make sure that I included a how to fix a closed eye. So you're about to see both in one fell swoop. Okay, first let's start with the retouch here. This one's amazingly easy, and it uses a filter in Photoshop. We don't get to use a whole bunch. Go ahead and first start and select the area that you want to reduce. So we'll kind of select right in here, something like right in this area here, and then we're going to go right under the lips, something in there. And this is kind of just the general area to do it in. Now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go into the filter menu, under distort, and we're going to choose pinch. Now the default setting for pinch is 50%, which is way too much. We're going to bring it down to around 15%, something in there, and that's much more subtle here. And you can see a little before and after inside the window here, how that's going to affect that whole area. So let's go ahead and click OK, and you can see how it just reduced that whole area. Pretty dramatic reduction. And you can decide if you want to take a little bit more, a little bit less. I think I could have taken a little bit more on this side, but really pretty good. Let's go ahead and apply this on a separate layer so I can show you a before and after. So we'll apply it here. Let's reselect that. If you deselect a selection and you don't make any more selections, usually you can go back into the select menu and choose reselect. It'll bring back the last selection you had. Alright, we're going to go filter, distort, pinch, right? And then we're going to drop this to 15% and click OK, and we'll see. You can see the difference here. Look. I mean, really a pretty substantial difference without having to jump through a lot of hoops, right? Again, another place you could do this is to go to Liquify and try that, but gosh, this is so easy, I kind of hesitate to go there. If you wanted to, let's just go ahead and merge those two down together by pressing Command-E on Mac or Control-E on PC. If you wanted to, you could lighten up some of these shadows down here pretty easily. Now you can either do a dodge and burn to lighten that area, or you can try getting the rubber stamp tool, go choose lighten, drop the opacity to 41% like I mentioned earlier, and just kind of go in here and let's lighten up some of those shadows. Let's try going right in here and just lightening that up a little bit. So it kind of helps to remove that shadowy area down there, which just will help look a little bit trimmer. Whoops, a little bit trimmer in there. There we go. That's one way. Now, so you can use the first technique and the second technique, but we got a bigger problem here, and that's the eye situation, right? So let's go ahead and deal with that. Let me show you how I do that. It's going to take a couple little moves, but it's worth it. It's a very, very simple way to do it, honestly. We're going to start off by using the lasso tool. We're going to go ahead and select this eye. Now we're going to put a little bit of a feather on it. Let's go into the select menu under modify and choose feather. Again, the reason why we're putting a feather on there is we want to make sure that it kind of hides our tracks, that you don't actually see what we did or how we got there. So that's our next step, is apply a little bit of a feather. How much feather are we going to apply? We need something pretty subtle, maybe just 2 pixels. So we'll just type in 2 pixels, something kind of minor. Alright, and then we're going to press Command-J on Mac or Control-J on PC to take our selected area and put it up on its own layer, so we just have just the eye with the soft edge up on its own layer. Now, you're thinking, oh, you're just going to drag that eye over there? Yes, I am. But now we have 2 right eyes, so that's not going to work. Here's what we have to do. We have to do a couple of things to make this look realistic. First, go to Free Transform, so press Command-T on Mac or Control-T on PC. Then we're going to Control-Click inside that selected area, or in PC you can just right click. We're going to hit flip horizontal to flip the eye around, and then we're going to kind of bring it this way. So now we actually have a right eye, and we flipped the right eye over here, so it's a left eye. Now, while it's still selected, you can go over to the Layers palette and lower the opacity of this layer so you can see the other eye behind it. Why do you want to do this? So it can help you position where the eye should go. You see I had a little bit too high. You can see where the other eye is, and you can position this eye pretty much to where it's, well, you don't want to really line up the I'm starting to line up the what's the word I'm looking for? The catch light. Thank you. You didn't say it, but maybe you probably did. I want to line up the rest of the eye, the pupil, and all that more importantly there. And we can move the catch light if we need to later. So once you kind of get into position, hit return, and then you're going to bring your opacity back up. All right. So now you've got the eyes right, but you also have different shading on this side of the head than you do on this side of the head. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go down here and click on the layer mask icon, right? Go get the paintbrush tool. You're going to paint in black. Now, why are we painting in black this one time? Because our layer mask is white. We actually want to paint stuff away. We've usually been adding in the rest of this video. We actually want to paint away. Put your opacity back up to 100, and we're going to kind of paint away these other areas so it looks a lot more. Look at that. It's just blending right in. Just like that. So now we're seeing the other parts of the original eye, but we're getting the good part from the other eye. Actually, I think I erased a little bit too much right up top. I don't want to go quite that far, so I just hit undo, Command Z on Mac or Control Z on PC, because I want to keep that eyelid pretty much there. And there you've got it. Now you've got two eyes. Now, although we pretty much lined up this eye pretty well, actually, to me it looks like it needs to rotate a little bit more. Let's just rotate this a little bit more, and it looks like it needs to go up just a hair. Is it just me? There we go. I think that looks a little more realistic. Let's back it off and see. Looks like it could even go up. I'm going to use the arrow keys on my keyboard to nudge it up a little bit. Oh, that looks better. Right there. And now we've been able to fix both eyes. He's blinking at you. Hey, how you doing? Retouch? Yeah, you bet, buddy. All right. So we've got a little reduction and the eye retouch. Let's do kind of a before and after here. Let's go to the history palette, and you'll see here's the before, and then here's the after. So the before and after. So we covered two birds with one stone, little reduction in the face, and then the fixing the eye.